What's happening, folks out there? Broadcasting live to you and yours. It's your boy Justin Reed, aka Too Tall for You Fool, and you are watching or listening to another episode of the Game and Watch podcast. This is episode number 84. We've been gone for about a week or so, but we're back, back in the place to be for this evening or this day, whatever the time around your world is. I am joined once again by the interpreter of the games industry, your prophet of playable material, and your professor of time preservation. Here in the Game & Watch podcast, we call him the educator, Matthew Bliss.
Helps if you unmute your microphone. Professional podcaster right here.
I think that's the best intro I ever gave you. And
it was nice. It was solid. No skips, no jumps. Perfect. Yeah. Look, I'm doing great. Just keeping on playing those video games and talking to people about them. Look forward to today's ep. It's going to be good.
Oh, yes, it will be good. And once again, I am joined by Max, the host of the Loading Bar podcast, excuse me. How you doing tonight, Max?
I think that intro definitely sums up me as a creator. Thank you for that. I'm doing great. Happy to be here again. Love seeing you guys. Absolutely. I think we got another great episode ready to go.
All right. Once again, the Game & Watch podcast is a RView Gaming or OVG production. If you want to follow us on all our listening platforms, we're available. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook Live. We're all there. And in terms of listening, just Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, you name it, we're there. Support our Patreon. Any dollar or just a piece of money donated to the podcast will make this a better podcast for all. And if you have an email, you can email us at thegameandwatchpodcast@gmail.com with your questions or comments. Try to keep them positive or not. And definitely, if you want to follow us personally, all of our links to our personal social media platforms will be in the show notes along with all the material used for today's show. All right, so now that that's out of the way, how's it going? Just Easter just passed. How was y'all's holiday, Easter, whatever you want to call it? How have y'all been before we talk video games? I want to know.
It's good. Nice and relaxing. Kind of took a break from a lot of things and took the opportunity to get away as well. Went on a little break.
Oh, where'd you go?
I'd mention the place, but you guys aren't going to know because Australia. But it's a popular holidaying location in Australia. And
okay.
Yeah, it's really nice. Just disconnected from a bunch of stuff. Kind of need that every now and again, I think. Just drop social media.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Max? How'd you spend your holiday and Easter, if you celebrate that?
The exact opposite. I moved out of my apartment and it was incredibly busy, nonstop, just packing and going back and forth between a bunch of places. And then I'm good for 6 months and then I'm moving again.
Wow. You must move around a lot. As for me, it was my kiddo's spring break leading up to the Easter weekend. So I was pretty much in be a good husband, be a good father mode. We went a lot of places. We visited a petting zoo. We went to the popular California theme park, Knott's Berry Farm, if you guys have heard of that. And
yeah.
And then we also went to a strawberry farm where we picked some strawberries. And we had a movie night with some of our neighbors. They came over. I just did a lot of things. And then leading up into the weekend, it was just so busy. I know there wasn't too much going on the week of Easter, but even if it was, it would have been very hard for me to put together a show, especially since I was just so swamped that week. just sometimes life happens, but it's always good to disconnect. And I think, for not doing a show last week, we're going to have an even better show this week.
Yep.
So
Plenty of news lined up, plenty of
yeah,
stuff developing and not developing,
yeah, yeah, and
as the
then
case may be.
yeah, and then just another thing, just on a personal level, I'm kind of battling a sinus infection that I kind of got, so I'm on some antibiotics right now. So I guess that means no alcohol for 10 days. Oh
Well,
man.
I mean, the experience could be psychedelic if you do.
Yeah. Well, I
Or
mean,
is it the
just
effectiveness of the drugs that
I don't
diminishes
I
because of
don't
the
know.
alcohol?
I've just read that like it's not good to drink if you're like on any kind of antibiotics, whether it be for an infection or whatnot. I don't know how true that is, but I mean, not that I'm an alcoholic. Now, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you get home from work, you just want to crack open an ice cold beer or whatever, and it's just I kind of can't do that right now. So,
You'll have a
but I feel
cool, refreshing, tall glass of water.
yeah,
Delicious.
it's right here.
Delicious.
Okay. Prepared that earlier. Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm getting better though. I had to take a half day from work yesterday because of it. All
Mhm.
right. So before we jump into the news, what have we been playing?
I have a big list.
You have a big list. I have a small list, but
But
I
that's
think
okay. I've found that, well, in the last couple of episodes I've been in, I've talked about Elden Ring for the most part.
you beat it
And
finally, right?
no, no, I had to take a well-being break from Elden Ring because the most interesting thing I've discovered about it, like we've talked about it ad nauseum. No need to go over it again. But the difference between it and Dark Souls is the exploration part. There's always more things that you can just run off and do. But what they don't talk about is that the closer you get to the end of the game, the more that funnel narrows to a point where you run out of other things to do. There's also the enticement of the end of the game. You're like, I'm so close to the end. I could just get there. I just have to get past this one bit. And that one bit ruined my life for a few days. So I've had to take a bit of a break from Elden Ring. But there's been a bunch of games lined up that I've actually managed to get through pretty quickly. Tunic is one that I'm like this close to finishing. Amazing game, especially for Discovery coming off Elden Ring. It's like playing with Lego as opposed to trying to build a building. Like the discovery there is excellent. There's like no clues at all, barely any tutorial. It's a very interesting game to learn more about as you play it. Really rewarding. Um, a Memoir Blue is another one I played on Game Pass. It's about under an hour of play, but it's a very interesting experience. It's like a story that's told as a narrative through environment and the main protagonist's kind of reflections on her youth. It's about an Olympic swimmer who doesn't answer a phone call from someone important to her, and then we find out more about her family life and how she grew up. And it's just a really nice game. I'd recommend it for anybody. Very small time to spend there. And actually, on really good feelings, I'm playing a Life is Strange True Colors at the moment. Also on Game Pass, funnily enough. And those games are never very meaty. There's never a lot of like bulky narrative there. You're not sitting there for 60 hours trying to get through the entire story because it is very story driven and character driven. But just being in that game is so nice. It feels like such a lovely game when you're in there. It's the main character being separated from her brother in the foster system is now returning to going to where that brother lives now, and they're reunited, and she starts experiencing the town. But the way the town looks and the way that all the actors look and the graphics in the game is just unreal. I don't envy getting to the end of it because I feel like experiencing the game is where I'm getting most of my positive feelings about it. Like I'd recommend it to anybody who's, even if you haven't done Life is Strange Part 1 or Part 2, just jump on this one. It'll give you feelings. It might even make you cry. I've been like this far away for ages. It's one of those games that has a story that's so compelling that it pushes in that bit of your chest where you're like, hang on, I'm human. What's going on? But it's such an enrapturing game. So yeah, Life is Strange is what I'm playing at the moment, and it's really good, really good.
Life is Strange. Okay, gotta check that out. And you would recommend Tunic also, right?
Absolutely.
Tunic. Okay.
The
I'll
thing
go ahead
about
and check that out.
Tunic that people need to bear in mind, though, we all say that, Elden Ring, Dark Souls. People say they get good games, and then they say, no, don't get good, just enjoy it the way you want to enjoy the game. Tunic is kind of like that, but it doesn't push the get good side, and anyone that does, I think is missing the point with it. With Tunic, I think play the game how you like, do what you can. If there's some mystery that eludes you, it's okay to look it up. There's enough guidance out there that you can find as much as you need to point yourself in the right direction if you feel like you've hit a point where you just can't, you just don't know what to do. And there are a lot of points like that. And realistically, it's often environmental. So if you're going through it and you've hit a bad point, instead of trying to look for markers on the map that can tell you a bit more, you of course have your little fold-out guide that gives you little clues as you pick up more pages. But more often than not, it'll be about you walking up against a wall, facing it, and then walking along that wall until maybe there's a gap there somewhere that you couldn't see that's hidden away that will take you to another secret path somewhere. It seems to be the entire game. Like the shortcuts in Dark Souls are kind of built the same way, but they tease you where that shortcut will connect at some point. Whereas with Tunic, it'll point you in a direction for like 10 minutes and then take you up a secret path and back to the start. And then you look at it and go, crap, that was there the whole time. I could have just gone there at the start if I knew it was there. That's why the discovery is excellent. But my point is, if you play Tunic and you feel like you need a bit of guidance, don't be afraid to look up a guide. Perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable. Game & Watch approved.
Game & Watch approved. All right, sounds good. I mean, well, I'll usually look up a guide anyway if I've hit a wall and just want to stop me from going crazy. All right, how about you, Max? What have you been playing these past few weeks?
So I have a relatively long list as well.
You both on your long list.
It's a break, man. Gotta play some games.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's I've recently rediscovered my classic Xbox and my PSP.
And your PSP.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've been playing old stuff.
I have. And I've been purchasing old stuff that I've never played before. Such as I'm on a bit of a James Bond kick right now. I picked up Nightfire, Agent Under Fire, and GoldenEye Rogue Agent. And
I played both of those on the GameCube, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they were on GameCube. I could be wrong, but I know. Yeah, I know the GoldenEye one was.
Yeah, no, they're 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was. First of all, it was like incredibly bizarre to wrap my head around that. I was just like 2002. Oh yeah, I remember that year. Not that big of a deal. I look at the calendar. It's 2022. I'm like, wow, I'm old.
Yeah.
It always takes you by surprise, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even like 2012, that was only 10 years ago, and you kind of think, geez.
Where did the time go? That's what,
It's bizarre. But it's interesting to see kind of, well, these games I've been having a lot of fun with. But it's interesting to see first-person shooters kind of a year like after Halo's release, to kind of see like how people either took from it or didn't do anything related to Halo at all, even though it was like revolutionizing first-person shooters like at that time. And Nightfire so far has been like it's been one of the most interesting experiences for me because it's you can finish a level in any, and this is probably old news for a lot of people, but you can finish a level in any kind of way that you want. There's several gadgets. There's a lot of like terrain to reversal, and you can stealth, you can go in guns blazing, and it's just really nice to see that degree of choice because you can do some really cool things, and that replayability to come back and try something new to finish a level is always there and good. Other than that, I have been playing almost like in protest for potentially what we're going to be talking about today. I've been playing Sonic Mega Collection Plus on the original Xbox, and it has been wonderful experience.
All right, Sonic Mega Collection, and I know you have a lot to say about Sonic today, man. So do I, and Matt. I'm
Very
not sure how big of a Sonic fan you are, but I'm sure you have a few things to say about that. But
I'm a big fan of the attitude, him tapping his little foot away.
Oh yeah,
You do you, Sonic. You do you.
yeah. For me, so that's all you've been playing, Matt. Yeah, you've been playing a lot of old games. Yeah, retro.
Yeah.
I mean, well, we are. Well, Matt always says that our niche should be retro. So, and I think this episode is kind of retro themed today, but a little
actually,
bit, just a little bit.
I have been playing The Force Unleashed on the PSP.
Oh,
mostly for anticipation for the Switch
yeah.
version.
Yeah, it's coming soon, right?
Yeah, it's coming soon. It's on our rundown this week of the list of games coming. All right. As for me, believe it or not, I am playing something new. I am playing. I thought I would never get this year, but Fine said I would get it, and I know he wishes he was here to say that I told you would get it. I caved in. I purchased WWE 2K22 for the PS5, and let me tell you, I mean, I know you both. I'm not sure about you, Max, but man, I know you're not a big wrestling fan. But let me tell you, it is probably the best 2K, at least since 2K took over the series. This is probably the best 2K wrestling game that has come out since probably 2K14. And if you do the math, that's about 8 years ago now. So yeah, they made a lot of improvements, a lot of quality of life improvements for the game, and it just, what can I say? It just runs good now. It's where it needs to be. Now there are some things, of course, that people will complain about. Can I get a smarter tag team partner? Why can't you do this? And then you see a glitch here or there, but for the most part, they did do a lot of improvements, and the showcase for once is actually pretty compelling. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the wrestler Rey Mysterio. He's actually on the cover of the game, but his showcase is actually really good, and pretty much I got pretty much just everything. I got the game, I got the season pass, I got a few packs, the Undertaker pack, I got the NWO pack. But even with all that stuff, it does not unlock everything. You have to. It kind of makes you do the showcase, and for years now, since they've had these showcases, they've really sucked. But I think they figured it out finally, like with this, and it's a little weird at first, but after you get into it and just figure out like some of the moves on like how to do it, it's actually not that bad. And if you just want to do it just to unlock everything, just put it on easy and just have a good time with it. But I've created it myself. I am the world heavyweight champion. Having a lot of fun with the game. I'll try to provide some gameplay next time for you guys, or probably at somewhere in our Discord. And then another game I've been playing, believe it or not, is Wario Land 4 for the Game Boy Advance through my emulator, and I figured I'd play a Game Boy Advance game, and Game Boy Advance is just one of those systems. It holds a close place in my heart. It was the first console I bought with my own money, and Wario Land 4 was one of the games I had. So I've been playing that. Also, I have not been playing any Sonic though. But with that being said, any questions about what I've been playing? No, not really.
What do you ask about wrestling? Did the actors act well?
Yes, they did.
Was there a suplex somewhere?
Yes, that's one of my moves. But yeah, and then
very good.
Just be careful if you're streaming the game or putting it on YouTube or anywhere like that because of the copyrighted music, of course. So definitely mute it or something if you want to show gameplay. But
did they have an option Do they have an option in there to
Yeah,
toggle it
yeah,
off?
they have an option to turn the music off, and then I could also do it through my game capture also. But
Mhm.
speaking of Game Boy, let's get into Game Boy and talk about these emulators that have been leaked for the Nintendo Switch Online. So this gets me excited because the emulators for the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Advance, you know, they leaked online, and people have for years now been saying, when are we getting Game Boy Advance? When are we getting Game Boy Advance? And with this recent leak, I think they are around the corner, and maybe they're closer than what we think. I mean, we don't know. I mean, this is Nintendo uh, for all that we know. For the most part, just games I would like to see them bring to the Game Boy Advance, if they ever do have it, is I would love to see them bring Wario Land 4, another one, obviously Golden Sun, underrated RPG if you ask me. Of course,
Golden
Mario
Sun was
versus Donkey Kong.
so good. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt there.
Oh, no, no, no.
I loved
No,
Golden
you're good.
Sun.
You're good. You love Golden Sun. Yeah, I
Such a
mean, it
good
has a
game.
lot of there's just a lot of like great games for it. Even like it'd be even great if they even brought like the Sonic Advance games.
Oh yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
that would be awesome as well. But and then what are some of the games that you like for the Game Boy Advance? Not even just the Game Boy Advance, just Game Boy in general. Just that you would like to see them bring the Switch online if this is true. Well, I think we all don't know that's coming. But what kind of games would you like to see?
Hmm. It's tough because it was so long ago. The
Yeah.
I'm inspired by the image we're flashing on screen here
Hmm.
during the video podcast, which is actually an image shared via the leak that generated this rumor that this is coming. Pokemon Pinball was actually really fun. I remember having that when I was younger. I think that was one of the things that had the Rumble Pack that you could plug into the Game Boy Pocket as well. Yeah, that was really good. And also with Kirby coming out recently, if the original Kirby in Dreamland can come out, I would play that again in a heartbeat. That was a great game.
Mhm.
I've never played
I
any of the Kirby games, at least for Game Boy. What about you, Max?
um it's a toughie because a lot of the things that I really enjoyed on the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance, I can actually play like now either on the Switch with like the Castlevania collections. Those were a big part of my Game Boy upbringing. But this does get me more. I think I'm more excited about this than I was about the Nintendo 64 and the Sega Genesis expansion pass. Just to try out things again like that, potentially that I had never tried, that I had seen other people were envious of. But um, yeah, the Sonic Advance games though, for sure. Like you said, definitely, I would love to see those.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it just has a big library of games. Just the Game
Mm.
Boy, 11 years before the Game Boy Advance came around, and then the Game Boy Advance wasn't strong for like another 5 or 6 years. So I mean, it would just be great to see what they bring to it. I think it's been a long time coming. Just come on, Nintendo. Just make your people happy, make your fans happy.
Look, I think that the groundbreaking thing here is that the leak mentions that they have been developing their own emulator, which is a far throw from when they released the emulation previously. I think it was on the. You guys are going to have to help me here. It's on the Virtual Boy platform. Is that right? The one where they sell
Uh,
games in from a store that are
oh,
compatible on whatever platform they're using. It's
oh
not Virtual Boy.
yeah.
I don't know. Whatever it is. In any case, some people started
I know what you're
digging
talking about.
into. It may have even been the mini console that they released that
Mm.
Oh,
was
I
using
think the
emulation for products, but they dug through
yeah.
that and it had commented and lines of code that were correlated with previously third party generated ones that were available for free. So the fact that Nintendo seems to have done the hard work this time, that's probably a good thing.
I mean, one thing I will say, I mean, compared to what Sony did with their PlayStation Mini. I mean, they pretty much just used the RetroArch core. So I mean, at least they're not doing that. But I mean, who knows? Maybe the RetroArch
The,
core is a little better.
the only problem is when they pretend that they've done all the work and they say, look, we made this little box that plays all the games that you love. And they dig through, and it's actually just copies of stuff that other people have worked hard on that they haven't credited. And look, far be it from anyone to, accuse someone of having their work replicated somewhere else if they do that work for free and it's open source, because that's what the community is meant to be like for that. But
Mhm.
if Nintendo pushes people to do open source, freely available stuff like that because of the restrictions they set, and then they take that work and say, oh, look what we've done. Bit of a hypocritical thing there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
As a Nintendo outsider, of course, I'm willing to be more cynical and to point out those kinds of ethical failings, but, that's just me.
Well, hey, you don't always got to be a Nintendo outsider. The Switch is right there, Matt. I know you want one. And I'm just kidding.
Dude, I'm this close again. I'm thinking about it, but I'm going to be
Has
moving
it been our influence since being on this podcast?
No,
Okay.
it's the convenience of being able to play chess with my friends on a rooftop. That's the thing that drags me in. No, it's not
Okay.
that, but the portability of the platform and having an ocean of games to access that I've never had access to before. That's the
Yeah.
thing that's just sitting there, tantalizing me, just waiting for me to pick it up. But
Metroid Dread.
Mhm.
Metroid Dread. If you get
Dread
one,
would be a
Metroid
good
Dread.
one. But I
Yeah.
tell you what, if the Steam Deck comes to Australia before the Switch gets any cheaper, forget
You're
it.
getting that first.
Mhm.
You're getting...
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I figured you would. All right. So speaking of leaks, Nintendo also has another leak of a bunch of NES games that have yet to come to the service yet. And there were some interesting ones that I'm just going to go through a minute here once I pull up this photo. Looks like all the Mega Mans 1 through 6. And that's weird to me because I thought they weren't doing games that already had like compilations like Mega Man, like the Mega
Yeah.
Man collection. So that's a little weird to me that they would put that on there. I don't know, maybe they came to a deal with Capcom. I mean, but if they're doing that, they'd have to put like Castlevania on there too, right?
And that's
I
the
mean,
that's the strange thing, right? Like with all the compilations out there, it's if they do end up releasing games that are already in a compilation format, it'll be interesting to see like which platform is better to play it on, I think.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And then another game that I noticed was Pac-Man, Rygar, and the original Tetris. Those were some of the games that jumped out at me. The original Tetris is actually a really good game. I had that on my NES, and just I'm just gonna say this: it's way easier now than it was back then. I mean, if you're a Tetris fan, I mean, trust me, the fact that you can see the next three pieces that are coming and you can hold a piece. Back then, it was just the next piece, and that was it. Especially then the one on the Game Boy too was pretty much the same way. So this
Mhm.
is another leak. I mean, once again, how true it is. I mean, maybe we'll see these games. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't really care to play Mega Man on the NES Switch Online. Just since I already have the compilation and I've already beaten the most important Mega Man 2. Speaking of which, Matt, you need to get on Mega Man 2, man.
I've got a Mega Man still sitting there waiting to play. What was that? Mega Man
You got the
X.
X Legacy collection. I was trying to recommend you just a regular Mega Man collection and
Oh,
play Mega Man 2, but hey, if it
X
goes on
Legacy
sale
is
on
great.
Steam, yeah.
look, when I get that Switch, it's a hard
If it's
maybe.
on there, hi, maybe, yeah, definitely. All right, and then some news that is confirmed with the Nintendo Switch Online is the Genesis. Yes, they are updating the Genesis. They did an update this week, and they announced three new games which are available to play now. And those three games are Space Harrier 2, Shiny Force 2, and Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball. Any of these games you would recommend, Sonic Spinball, maybe.
Sonic
or-
Spinball. Easily.
Easily, yeah. That's a good one. That's on the collection you've been playing, right?
It is.
Okay.
And it's interesting. You know how like there's like the American interpretation of Sonic, and then there's like the original, I guess the Japanese interpretation of Sonic, where they're kind of drawn differently. Whenever I play Spinball, I always feel like this is potentially the American interpretation of Sonic back when he had that cartoon where he's like on Mobius and he's like, I don't know, Saturday morning cartoon vibes.
Yeah,
Anyway,
there were
yeah.
several cartoons of Sonic back in the day,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
But
This
yeah,
just
I've heard
takes me back
the
to that.
Saturday morning one. That was the one where I believe Steve Urkel, Jaleel White
Yeah.
voiced him. But yeah, that one, yeah. Yeah,
Wow,
so
I would never have seen that. I don't think.
Oh,
I did
man,
get a
you're missing
Sonic.
out.
It was a Sonic
Yeah.
and Friends that I ended up seeing on morning television in Australia.
yeah,
Had-
they had there was like several different like Sonic cartoons back in the day. There was a Saturday morning one. There was like another one. There was just too many to count. And then after that, it was like Sonic X in the early 2000s, and now I believe he's getting like his own Netflix series or something.
Everything
Yeah.
Sonic is coming. Look,
Yeah,
just
everything Sonic is coming. His own
watch
series.
out.
Sonic is in. Sonic is in.
Making
And it
the money.
feels like it's like because I recently watched the movie, and it feels like it's like 91, 92 all over again. Like it's just like wow. Like why? I'm just looking at the movie and I was like, why didn't they create this sooner?
Because it probably wouldn't have been as good.
I don't know, man. I guess nostalgia. It sells.
That's right. I
Look,
want my
there has to
pocket
be-
Dreamcast.
There's a bell curve somewhere that marketing experts look at, and they wait until the nostalgia curve rides to the very top of that peak, and they're like, yes, that's the appropriate time. I think we're hitting that peak for this.
It's all good.
Maths. Sorry.
All right, so we'll ease off Nintendo for just a minute and Sonic for just a minute, and we will switch gears to Xbox. And it seems like they've updated their games for this week. I mean, this month with Xbox Games Pass, and we also got some games that are coming out for next month. Games that are available now to play. If I'm forgetting something, you guys can jump in. 2021, which is Cloud. Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit, very good game if you love racing. One of my favorites. It's also available for Cloud. 7 Days to Die for Cloud, console, and PC. Bug Snacks, which is one of the games coming out that we're going to go through the rundown later. That's coming to the Cloud, console, and PC. Turnip Boy, Cloud, console, and PC. Unsold, console, and PC. Research and Destroy, console and PC, and these are all coming, and these are all available as of right now. And we also got games that have already been announced for the month of May, and they have 7 day one games announced for May. 7. Have they had any more than that, or Matt, you would know. Have they had any more than that, or is that like the
Look,
most?
over time, we will see that the Game Pass platform is going to have ways to bring people back into the platform again. It's been incredibly quiet. I'm not sure we've seen 7 announced all at once. Some of them may have dropped unbeknownst to us. Like they just kind of go, oh, here you go, have some more games. And look, we may see that again, but I think they're trying to pull people back in again.
Yeah, I think they are because
yeah.
because the last several months has been kind of until Tuna came, but I think that pulled people back in. I think it's going to get people to stay for a while. But let's go over these games that are coming. Loot River's coming May 3rd. Citizen Sleeper coming May 5th. Trek to Yomi, I'm really looking forward to that game, coming May 5th. Uden Chronicle Rising, May 10th. Hard Space Shipbreaker, May 24th. Sniper Elite 5, May 26th. And Pac-Man Museum, May 27th. Trek to Yomi, I'm looking forward to that game coming next month. That I will definitely be playing Game Pass a bit next month when that comes. Any of these games that you guys are looking forward to in the next month, or that's already been announced?
The interesting thing is that some of this stuff is going to be first time on Game Pass, like a day and date release for that. Like Bugsnax was exclusively PlayStation on
Yeah,
release, wasn't it? I think it was only a
yeah,
PS5 game.
Yeah, I think so.
Um,
yeah. Actually, that was actually a game I forgot to say that I was also playing. But yeah, well,
there you go.
yeah, but,
Hard Space Shipbreaker, if I put that together right, was released on PC, I think, last year, and may have been in beta or early access or whatever. So the fact that it's getting a console release must mean it's further along in the cycle. But people may have played it already, and so it's probably Xbox for console that they'd be aiming for with that. I think could be wrong. Yeah, no, it looks like a stellar outline of games to catch the largest number of people that they could possibly catch, and at no better time, because we're starting to lean into an area of the year where there aren't many games coming. And especially for Game Pass, the last big drop I think was with Tunic and Weird West, and some of those actual day ones that came out. So it's always a good time to try out Game Pass. I'd say dive in and have a go, especially with Bugsnax. That looks really weird, and
yeah. I
apparently
played a
the end of
little
it
bit.
is unusual.
Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of it, and it's actually been sitting in my library on PS. And then like the next day, it was announced that the Sony exclusivity was over. So, but I found that kind of like, huh, that's very surreal. Okay, but as I started playing this game finally, but yeah, it is kind of it's a pretty funky game. It's doable though. I mean, I'll probably play through all of it and see how it ends. But yeah, it's coming to Xbox, Nintendo. Yeah, so just be on the lookout for that. We'll go through it on the rundown a little bit later on in the show.
Hmm.
So that being said, moving on to Sega and what they've been doing. First, we'll talk about the new Sega Super Game Initiative. So it looks like they have a Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio reboots in the works at Sega. But the question is this like the super game project that they're gonna be pushing out? I read more about this super game project, and uh, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not seeing it here. I just get more and more confused. With the whole NFT thing,
Hmm.
and anytime we bring up NFTs, Matt is our guy.
Funnily enough, I wanted to jump in there. They haven't
Yeah.
actually confirmed that NFTs are a component of the Super Game initiative yet. So, just for anyone watching, listening who might not be aware, Super Game is something that they posed last year, I think, as kind of a marketing ploy to create their own um, gaming interconnected universe with AAA titles, with expectations like pre-existing IP or IP assets, and um, interoperability, bringing in massive online games together. One might say that's a metaverse, but the difference here is
That's what it
that
sounds
they
like to
are.
me. That's what.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I think they're doing this the right way. I think they're making it a requirement that it's AAA. You're going to guarantee the big audiences that they want, but the fact that they're intending to develop in a way that's going to create that interconnected universe is going to have a much better chance of having people buy into it, instead of just saying, "Oh, well, look, your diamond sword from Minecraft can be used in Fortnite." That probably happens already, but
Mm.
you know what I mean. Like having
Mhm.
to back develop to have games be interconnected. Instead, here, Sega is looking at creating the environment in which the games live for them to then interoperate with each other. And then, of course, bringing in the whole the rumor last year as well about them buying into a large chunk of Azure services with Microsoft. The speculation there, of course, was, is Sega going to Game Pass, or are they doing their own Game Pass type thing? And no, obviously that's not the case here.
Oh.
They just want to take advantage of their cloud network so they can build in these live services for the big community to make sure that they can, you know, uphold this super game initiative. So look, it's not the most confusing thing in the world, if only because there's not much to look at yet. Basically, they want games together, bring people in. That the biggest part of the article that we posted for the show notes this week, though, is that it keeps mentioning that they're looking for passive income. Passive income, which means they want to support, they want to host, but they don't want to have to develop for it. People bring their games, they pay a fee to be in the super game, and that can just be something that Sega pulls from in order to create revenue. So whenever I hear passive income with anything from the beginning, I get a little bit wary myself. And then, of course, they mention offhandedly things like metaverse and NFTs and things like that, which people, always unsure about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think this sounds like, thank you for breaking it down, because I was totally lost on some of that stuff. But
You're welcome.
It really sounds like people are trying to create Ready Player One, but like obviously not like the VR aspects of it, but like how you can be whoever you want to be. You can use whatever items from whatever popular culture or video games from the past and stuff like that, all in one big hosted world.
So funnily enough, everyone is saying that. They're saying they're trying to target Fortnite with this, because Fortnite is a created universe, and all the stars are lining up everywhere else as well. With a story we'll talk about later, with in-game advertising becoming a thing. Fortnite has that on lock.
Mm-hmm.
We've got integrated partnerships with, movie and game integrations for character skins and stuff. The metaverse comes into play. It's a massively online. No, I was about to say it was an MMO, but it's not. It's a battle royale, entirely online, 100 players at a time. It generates, as we know from the Ukraine revenue donation they made, that it makes potentially up to, what was it, 28 million in 2 weeks or something like that. Ridiculous sums of money. And Sega's gone, yep, we want that. So,
to me, it definitely sounds like they want to do something similar to Fortnite. They want to create their own space, like a game, regardless of what console, I guess. I mean, I would assume it would be on a console or PC. And, just like a super game, kind of similar to Fortnite, Apex Legends, whatnot. But my big question is, like, what is it going to be? And, just kind of back to what you were saying, Matt, it looks like they don't want to develop for it, so they want to just set up the space and then just have someone else bring the game to it, I guess. I'm trying not to think too hard about it, but
it's not to say there isn't hard work that they will have to do to make this happen, because when you've got games developed for a platform, let's say it's a console, and the console breaks, the console doesn't work, they release a firmware update that prevents access to buy games, developers are like, the fuck you doing? People can't buy my game. I can't make money. This is the position that Sega's going to be in as well. If there's an Azure-hosted support service that they make available the ability to connect games online, and all of a sudden there's an error with that, like when Amazon services, half of their online server houses went down, and all of a sudden half the internet was dead because they had made a change to some of the firmware in their servers, and then they had to manually go into the data warehouses and change them. Sega could easily be on the hook for stuff like that, and it could be a massive problem. That's why I think passive income usually becomes a bit of a thing. But look, it'll happen the way it happens. Sega is Sega. They can always lean on making another mini console to jack up that revenue and pay for something.
Mini Dreamcast.
Or they could just get back into the console making business and just come out with the Dreamcast 2, and people will be floating the Sega again. Yeah. Dreamcast 2, Genesis 2, whatever they want to call it,
Could be a new console. If they did a Dreamcast Mini that was more successful than the original, would that be a problem for them? Is that like a saving
maybe.
face kind of thing.
I think the Dreamcast was just one of those consoles that became more popular after it was done than when it was available and out there. I mean, I hate to say it, but
Yep, I was a fan of Firefly as well.
I like
Very
Dynamite
obscure.
Pop, okay?
just just a lot of bad things behind it when it came out. The advertisement, it's stinking. If you all remember that commercial.
Look, I thought the big problem was
Forgot about
piracy.
that.
Within three days or a week, someone had hacked the encryption on the discs,
Yeah,
which were just regular CD-ROMs, and all of a sudden, everybody had every game. They could
yeah.
just
It,
use
it,
it on
was,
the
it wasn't
Dreamcast.
very
without
hard back in those days.
Mhm.
All right, and then a little bit of other Sega news. We're going to be talking about the Blue Hedgehog once again, and its Sonic Origins and the DLC for it. So we finally got a date for when the game is going to come out. It's going to be coming out sometime in June. June. Some, I don't see the date here, but it's going to be coming out this summer in June. And they put out this chart that is confusing as all hell. Like, okay, you have to pre-order the game to get this, and then you have to, and then if you get it, you get 100. If you get the start dash pack, but that comes like if you pre-order the DLC or something, and then there's a premium fun pack, and then there's a classic music pack, which I don't really care about. I mean, you can listen to all the music on Spotify or any other platform if you have that, and then the digital deluxe edition, and you can pre-order this. And another big question mark we can get into a little bit later is where's no physical release. I know you have a bit of gripes to gripe about this, Max. Lay it on us, man. What's wrong here?
Well, this is my initial thoughts. This is just insulting. Like, it's insulting for like people who've grown up with these games, and like think of how many Sega collections, Sonic collections. I think from the original Xbox, GameCube, PlayStation 2 onward, there has been a Sega collection, a Sonic collection, probably for all of them. I mean, don't quote me on that, but like there's a
since
large
the
chunk.
GameCube, Xbox, PS2 era, there's been a Sonic collection at least for all those consoles. Yeah, at least Sonic. No, I can't say the rest for Sega, but
Mhm.
yeah, like anyone can play Sonic the Hedgehog if you've had any of those consoles over the past 20 years. I mean, let's be real.
Exactly. And like it's like who is this, like who are you targeting with this? Because like adult fans are not going to look at this and think this is a good, I don't know, use of my money. Like, and then when you shift it at kids, like I don't think like do that. I don't think people realize that kids are kids are smart enough to realize that they're getting ripped off, especially with something like this.
For $40, it'd be one thing if it was 30. If it
Yeah,
was 30, I'd be okay. I'll pre-order it. But the fact that it's $40,
yeah.
yeah,
And then
you're gonna have to show me a little more than this. I'm sorry, but
like what do you get? I pre-order and I get menu animations. I get Sonic dancing around with a chili dog. Like great incentive. Take my money. I'm
And
all
you get
in.
100 bonus coins, which
Oh
they have
man,
not
bonus
described
coins,
at
yeah.
all, right?
you could have said rings. 100 bonus
Or
rings for
rings.
the currency. Come on, guys.
Coins
Know your
around.
know your universe. Come on.
But
Yeah.
I do. But one of the things I kind of am looking forward to with this collection is, I mean, at least with Sonic the Hedgehog 1, can you be Tails and Knuckles in those games? At least did they finally? I know there are hacks that you could do it, but did they make it official in this game finally, or is it
Could
just
they?
the same? Is it just the same
Well,
old game, or that's what
the,
I
the
mean.
sorry, the people who worked on Mania,
Yeah,
they I think they let in the article they mentioned that they put out a tweet that they worked on remastering the first three games, and in Mania you can choose to play as Sonic and Tails, straight just Knuckles, and I think Tails. It's been a while since I played it, so that might not be correct, but there is a lot of there's character choice in that, so I would assume that they would potentially add that here as well.
Okay, so that's interesting. So that makes things different. So I could play Sonic CD with Sonic and Tails. So, yay, I guess. Do I really want to do
Allegedly.
that for 40? Allegedly. So, do I really want to do that for $40? Boy,
It's look.
this
I
is a
think
tough sell, man. And
clearly
I'm a
they
big retro
know.
gamer too.
Clearly they know because they're bundling things together with the pre-order. And what you guys are saying is, I don't know. I'd have to see it first. But they don't get the money if you wait to see. Or they do, rather. And you don't get the start. Was it the start dash pack? And you pay for that later, in which case they make more money. But they need to be able to say that they can sell this game, so they need you to pre-order. So coins and stuff, mirror mode, unlockable
yeah.
mirror mode.
But
I'm not even
where's
sure what that is.
Yeah, mirror. I guess you could do the levels backwards or from right to left. I guess.
I think that is what it is.
I think it's right to left. I mean, and where's the physical edition? I don't know why this is 100% digital. I don't understand this. Like,
Because it's the most
any other-
confusing thing in the world. That's why. Because they
Like-
probably have to change stuff at the last minute, and they wouldn't get it to a press fast enough to be able to send it out at the same time
come
as
on,
digital.
I mean, it'd be one thing if this was like an independent studio, but this is Sega. Like, come on, like,
Digital's
I
the
don't
future.
understand.
Digital's the future. They save money on shipping and factories, and actually, it could be a result of the pandemic too. Maybe there were some factories that were prioritized for other games being released. I mean, they couldn't get it on
I mean,
disc somewhere.
perhaps.
It could be good for the environment.
Yeah, I guess there's an
Yeah.
argument there.
I mean, we'll be on the lookout for it. It's coming soon in June. If you guys do want to pick it up, it's available. But I think it's just a big miss that it's $40, and I'm not one to be cheap on, but it's just, yeah. If it was 30, I'd probably pick this up. I'd probably already have it pre-ordered, no questions asked. But the fact that it's 40, gotta look at what better use I have of my money.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So speaking of another retro collection that is coming out, well, it is the year of the turtles. I keep saying in our Discord, and we'll start with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga collection, special edition, and this special edition looks really cool. Like, it definitely has like an art book and just animations, that sort of thing. A little bit of a poster. They're really going all out with this special edition. Now, is it worth the price? $150. That's a lot of money for a collection of
I wouldn't
old
pay
video
that,
game.
but I'm not the audience for this game, so you guys are going to have to weigh in.
That's the thing, right? There's a lot of Turtles fans out there, right? Like, there's one right here. But it's tough because, like, I'm not the biggest Turtles fan. I played a bunch of the games as a kid, and I watched the show every now and then. But, like, even just looking at this, like, this is cool. Like, you have like two, even for like hardcore Turtles fans who are fans of the comics, like you have two Kevin Eastman original prints for, I think, Turtles in Time and something, just a regular, I think, poster as well. And I think a lot of people will see that and be like, yes, that is absolutely going up, framed on my wall. You get a diorama, you get some pins, you get a beautiful art book. Yeah,
That
like,
looks incredible.
it does. It looks so cool. And you get trading cards for the fighting game, which was also awesome.
Yeah, they're giving you a lot of stuff here. I mean,
Yeah.
even if you're not a fan of the video games and you're just a big Turtles fan in general, I think
Yeah.
like any hardcore Turtles fan would just pick this up straight up.
Easily. The only thing I don't like about it is that orange Nickelodeon, hey, thing, like right there. It takes me right out of it.
Every time I see that Nickelodeon owns the Turtles, I just always think to myself, why isn't the old series on Nick at Night?
Uh,
Whatever, big miss. But hey, that's well how they want to do it. It's I would get this collection if it was a little cheaper, but
mm,
$150. It's I mean I know like I'm not gonna be able to get it cheaper later, and then it because usually if I collect stuff like that, I know I'm never gonna open it, so it's just gonna sit in my my mantle behind me. But so it would go well, but I mean,
mhm.
I could just buy another copy of the game and just, not open it and just have it on display. I could just do that. But I mean, this it would be like tempting for me to like want to open up.
Mhm.
And, but I mean, I've already got the regular edition of this pre-ordered for the PS5, believe it or not. I don't have it pre-ordered for the Switch. I might change my mind. I don't know yet, but but I do have it pre-ordered. I can't wait for it to come out. And just looking at this collection every day, this is something I would have to talk to my wife about getting. It might be an early birthday gift if it's out before my birthday, which I think it will be. But
So
but
is that
it's
just the price tag, the
yeah, for me
$150?
for me it's just the price tag. If it was like $80, maybe even $100, I would drop it. No questions asked.
Well, let me ask you this: what else would you want with it?
Uh, I would want.
Hand delivered by April
Hand
I
delivered,
herself.
would want. I would want the whole animated series of the original '87 show with it. That's what I would want with it.
and the Pizza Hut musical show that they did live.
Oh yeah, that was fun too.
Good lord.
Yeah, yeah. It was. They did a lot of stuff with the turtles back in the day.
Hmm.
So I mean, yeah, I would. Yeah, like if I'm paying that much, you better be giving me like the whole TV series digitally or something. Because yeah, it's a it's a lot of money. But but like I said, if it was like 80 to $100, I would drop that money. And but I mean, I don't think it's gonna come out and then they lower the price. I think it's just gonna get more expensive as time goes on. Scalpers,
Well, yeah,
collectors, because it's already sold out.
yeah.
I heard it went back on sale. I'm not sure if it's sold out, but it did sell out initially. So just be on the lookout for that, Turtles fans. The Cowabunga collection, the special edition. And then also speaking of Turtles, we have some Shredder's Revenge news. They released 11 minutes of gameplay for Shredder's Revenge and a release window. It's going to be coming out this summer. Another thing with the Turtles is, besides the release window, the original voice actors that were on the '87 show are coming back to play. Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello. Those four original actors are coming back to reprise their roles. Now, Rob Paulson, he played Raphael. He's been on many cartoon shows over the years. He actually played Donatello in Nickelodeon's first incarnation of the Turtles. Barry Gordon, Townsend Coleman is Michelangelo. Cam Clark as Leonardo. So I mean, it's great to see that they are bringing those original voice actors back to reprise their roles as the Turtles. Now, uh, it also had another notable voice actor on the show too, who played the Shredder actually, Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, better known as James Avery. He was the voice of the Shredder. Unfortunately, he won't be coming to reprise his role since he's no longer with us.
R.I.P.
But R.I.P. James Avery. He was a very good actor and very good voice actor too. He was also on a lot of stuff, but
Hmm.
um, yeah, but yeah, this is actually really good news, and this makes me happy. And just watching like 11 minutes of the first two levels of this game gets me all pumped up for it. And also another piece of news is, um, I'm not sure for the other regions, but at least for the American region, Limited Run Games is going to be handling the physical versions of these. So we'll see if we get a PS5 version or Xbox Series X version when it comes out physically. And I do hear it's not going to be limited. There should be plenty of supply when it comes out physically. So I think I will be buying this game twice when it comes digitally and physically as well. So I still don't know what I'm getting it for digitally, but I definitely will pick it up physically when that time comes. Uh, either of you guys excited about this game, ready to play it?
Totally. Get me Shredder's Vengeance. What? I'm not a Turtles fan. I'll wait for you guys to come in and describe it, and maybe if you do get that big Cowabunga collection thing,
Yeah.
maybe do an unboxing.
Oh yeah,
Something
yeah.
to entice the viewers.
We'll see. We'll see about it. If I do get it, I will do an unboxing. Something maybe after this podcast, I'll talk to my wife about it, and then
It's a
we'll
business
just go
expense.
yeah, yeah. I'll just be like, yeah, it's for the business, and I'm gonna unbox it and hopefully never open it up again after that. Maybe put the plastic back on.
Wow.
I don't know about that.
Gotta get your hands on that stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just can't buy that and then just have it taped in my mantle back behind me forever. I mean, toys is one thing, but I mean, a art book, yeah, and trading cards, yeah, that's something different.
You have to get them framed. You need them
Yeah.
sealed, vacuum sealed, so you can get them rated later if you want to. And then you just have an entire shelf of your cabinet dedicated to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So I already do.
And
What
look,
about you, Max?
Go for it, Max.
Oh, you know what? Like, this just looks so cool. I just love looking at it. Like I said, I'm not a massive Turtles fan. I appreciate it. I like it enough, but like, this looks like a stellar beat 'em up. Like, I was watching the 11, 12 minutes of IGN footage released on this, which is what we're watching now, I assume. But you can do a lot of things in this. Like, you have directional super moves. You can do some different combos. Each turtle, like, I just love like the minute details where each of them runs differently, kind of connoting to their personalities, I guess. And it just looks so much fun. It's so bright and colorful, and I eat this up. It's like a bag of chips for my eyes.
It's funny what you can do with endless game memory now. I'm sure they could have done something similar back then or wanted to, but
Yeah,
there's just not enough space on that cartridge.
Yeah, I mean, you only have so much stuff, but I mean, they're definitely taking advantage of the technology they have now compared to back then. So yeah, now it's just, they can do more, but I mean, this definitely, especially throwing the foot soldiers up at the screen, definitely call back the Turtles in time, So, I mean, it seems like, you hopefully the Cowabunga collection comes out first. You could play all those games, then play Shredder's Revenge, see what they did to implement, the rest of those games into that one. What would be excellent though? If both the collection and Shredder's Revenge all came out the same day. That would be like
Surely you won't have the time to drool all over your Cowabunga collection at the same time as playing Shredder's
no, I'd
Revenge.
probably play Shredder's Revenge first if they come out the same day, and then just jump back to, the Cowabunga collection. One game I hear on the Cowabunga collection that's really good though, especially if you're a Metroidvania fan, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Radical Rescue for the Game Boy. I hear that's a very, very good one. If you really like the Metroidvania style of games. All right, so enough with Turtles. Um, so we're going to talk about some upcoming games and expansions. Some are delayed, and one that hasn't been delayed yet, and that is God of War Ragnarok. The developer assures players it's still coming in 2022. I think we would have heard more by now if it was, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean,
Look,
Matt, you're a big God of War fan. I mean,
I've scrutinized this to some degree. There was someone on Twitter who went to one of the people on the development team, said, promise me this is coming out in 2022. And they said, it is coming out in 2022. So
I don't know.
you say that it's going to come out. Look, I think it was Corey Barlog that came out and did a developer update on it, because obviously, I think on a previous episode of this podcast, even I was kind of like, wasn't it meant to come out in April or something? I think we've all been expecting it for quite a long time, but obviously they announced no date. They know that there's a vacuum there, but they have said very clearly it's coming. It's going to come soon, and it's going to be really, really cool. The other thing that has been leaked as part of a few other aspects around the Twitterverse, I think, is that the PS4 version of this is going to be legit, apparently.
It is?
The development for Horizon Forbidden West for PS4 was excellent, which lends credibility that the PS4 version of this game is going to be very good by comparison. Being a PlayStation 5 developed game, obviously you wouldn't expect that you get that good of experience, but look, it's coming, dude. I'm telling you, like, put your trust in the devs. Santa Monica know what they're about, and the team putting this together isn't going to let us flap in the wind like other companies might. It's coming.
Okay. All right. I trust you, Matt. What do you think, Max? Is it coming?
I think it's coming. I wholeheartedly trust Santa Monica Studios to provide us with, the best experience we could possibly hope for with this. Like, I don't know what much more else to add.
Look forward to Fat
I
Thor.
just look forward to it. Yes, I look forward to Fat Thor.
Yeah,
be good.
definitely. So, all right. So, you guys think it's coming? I'm a little hesitant. I mean, it wasn't going to be a day one pickup for me anyway, but
Mm.
I need to finish the first one, really, to tell you the truth. But, I mean, Ragnarok, Matt and Max say it's coming. So, if it's coming, it's coming. One game that we know is coming, well, at least for sure, unless Nintendo changes their mind or something. Splatoon 3 will be getting messy on Nintendo Switch September 9th. Excited about that one? Splatoon 3? Not a big
I don't
Splatoon
have a
fan.
Nintendo Switch, so
I missed
How
out on
about
this one.
Yeah, Splatoon 2 is good. I mean, I don't have Splatoon 2, but definitely I think I've missed like the last price cut for Splatoon 2, so I mean, we'll see. I mean, it once again it probably won't be a day one pickup for me, but I mean, it's interesting to see what changes they do in this game compared to 2. And I know it's very popular among Nintendo fans, so we'll see how that goes. The Witcher 3 next gen upgrade development again as CDPR takes over development, so it's been delayed apparently. Witcher 3. So it looks like we won't be getting The Witcher 3 for the PS5, Xbox Series X or S. Um, they say it's been postponed.
I think that's quite telling of the studio they have developing the higher quality remaster, because it was delayed last year by recommendation of Saber Entertainment, the one who was doing that development for them.
Mhm.
So if they're bringing it back in house, either they're squeezing the last remnants out of Red Engine they can get for their last haul before they start moving into Unreal 5, or they've said, look, you guys have said it's another year, forget it, buy you out your contract to do this thing, and we're going to do the rest ourselves. And look, CDPR, for what anyone might say about Cyberpunk and the like, they get the job done, even if it is eventually.
All right. Okay,
Well said.
sounds good. Yeah.
I completely agree. Take your time, CD Projekt Red, please.
Yeah. Just I mean, we just want this to be good, no hiccups. I mean, I think that's what everyone wants after, what happened with the game we're going to talk about in a minute. But let's talk about this game. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 gets a new trailer and a release date of July 29th. That's a lot sooner than what people thought. This game, I think, is coming a lot sooner than people thought. I thought they would have did like a remaster of Xenoblade Chronicle X from the Wii U, which I hear is a very good game, but who knows, maybe they might do that later on or something like that. But it's coming, and I mean, maybe they pushed it up because no Zelda this year, but I mean, this can't be it for Nintendo's rest of the year lineup. At least I don't think. Um, you guys, like Xenoblade Chronicles, the whole series. I have both those games. They're actually really good, but I hadn't beaten either of them. But they're very good games.
I'm a big fan of 2, and I've only played 2. But I will say this: as cool as this looks, as like much as I want to play this, this is going to be another like 4 years of my life. I can tell
Oh yeah.
easily.
Are
Easily.
the games that
These are-
big?
They
Yeah,
are
they're
long.
pretty huge games for Nintendo developed games.
Wow,
So
that's
I
value
mean,
for money.
That's true.
that's why you should get a Switch, Matt. I think you would really like some of the first party games. I think you would like this one. Well, maybe not this one, but at least 2 and maybe the first one.
Yeah, it
Maybe.
looks like there's a lot of flashing icons on the screen, lots of attractive numbers.
There's a
doing
lot of
their thing.
waifus.
Yeah, this is very, very weeby, I think. But still, that's what you want from a classic one of these games developed
Mhm.
from Japan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, definitely.
And it looks like a good one.
yeah,
Also,
great
a lot of
JRPG.
Scottish accents.
Oh,
They
man.
love doing a bit of United Kingdom accentage, don't they?
Hmm
And then World of Warcraft gets a expansion. Dragonflight is revealed. See, I don't really play World of Warcraft, but if you're a World of Warcraft fan, if you have a new expansion to look forward to, let's see.
Yay! For whatever
Hooray!
portion of the Blizzard fan base is still hanging around, lest we mention what they are
Yeah.
currently still experiencing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Blizzard, and we know what they're going through right now. So, oh boy, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's still some fans, but once again, support play the game because you want to support the developers, not because of the company. That's what I say.
That's right. And this is a new class and a new race as well,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, here's the tricky part. This particular new race I think, only has access to this class.
Yep, that's what I read as well.
Yeah.
I kind of had to double read that actually, the way that they said it.
Yeah, it was
Like,
a little
okay.
strange.
Only this can be that, and only that can be this. Oh, okay. You could have just said only this can be that, and it would be fine. But
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure it would mean much more to preeminent WoW players.
And and last but not least, Cyberpunk 2077 expansion will arrive in 2023. Hopefully, not broken. We can only hope, right?
I'm hopeful.
I mean, you're hopeful. You're hopeful.
I
I
am.
mean, Matt said it was a very good game, so I know you're looking forward to it, right? The new expansion for Cyberpunk.
I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with it, to be honest. Each time, I mean, I got my new RTX graphics card recently, and Cyberpunk is one of those games on the list with Crysis and Witcher 3, like one of those graphics pushes. But I just haven't felt the motivation to get back in. So this expansion might do it.
It might do it for you.
Yeah, but next year would be the right time, I think.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be ready for it. It won't be ready this year. I don't think. What about you?
Well, my
Max?
point
Have you
is,
ever played The Witcher?
I'm not
I mean,
ready.
oh,
I'm
you're
not ready for this expansion yet.
Oh, you're
So
not
that's
ready.
fine with me. Max.
Oh, yeah, Max, have you played this?
So I've played through this twice.
Oh, hang on. There's butts.
But-
This is okay. Skipping ahead. Let's see some other things. Sorry, continue.
all right, some streets. Okay. So I played through this twice. Once on launch, I played through the whole thing, bugs and all, like just crashes and everything. And I got to the end, and I was happy that I did, because it was clear to see that like this world is amazing and super lived in, and they spent a ton of time on all these characters and wanting to bring this tabletop RPG to life. And then I played through it again on the PS5, and it was like a completely different experience. Not necessarily because I did anything different, but just it was just so graphically amazing, like compared to what I played. And it drew me back. That drew me back in, because it was like wow, this is what it was supposed to be, or close to.
Yeah, there was a lot of reports at the time as well, seeking out at the time of release. I mean, seeking out the best experience, but going back to it and seeing when it's done, like it just lifts it up. It really does.
Mhm. No, easily.
Yeah, well, I mean,
We have to get
will
ready for
play
our
it.
new future as well. Like this
That's
is
right.
us
Yeah.
jacking our brains into the internet. Well, I mean, Cyberpunk doesn't necessarily do that. They go for a full Wi-Fi option, but if
Mhm.
anyone is a fan of Ghost in the Shell or Psychopaths, even those kinds of preeminent futuristic animated stuff, even Ready Player One, like this game would
Yeah.
suit anybody.
Blade Runner. Yeah.
Blade Runner.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Too tall?
Well,
Have you dived in yet at all?
not yet. Like I said, I think I told you all a while back. I was trying to buy the game for $5. I don't think I said it on the pod. I think it was through the Discord when it went on sale. I think Mark had posted it up, or was it Alfredo? I'm not sure, but I tried buying it, and it was like for $5. I gotta get this for the PS4. I was at checkout and they said this item is sold out. I'm like, really? All right, I'll try again soon. So I was this close to buying it, but I'll wait for it to go on sale again. I know it is relatively cheap, so I will eventually play it. I just
Dude,
don't know
I
when.
know you're sitting on an RTX 3000 card that you're not using. My advice: subscribe to GOG or GOG Galaxy, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Have a look at that. Tap it at its source. Wait for them to put a deal on because they are still rocking Witcher 3 with all the DLCs, Game of the Year edition for like
Yeah.
$12 Australian, which is like $2 American or something. So keep an eye out there. And
That's $4 Canadian.
oh, jeez,
Oh, boy.
inflation. Our economy is crashing. Thanks, America.
Yeah,
Anyway,
talk about
yeah,
price
have
of
a look.
gas, but yeah.
Yeah, gas is. Let's not get into that. Where my government is artificially decreasing the cost of gas because we're coming up to an election year. Lots of fun.
Oh boy.
But yeah, have a look on the site there. Get it on PC, get it for cheap, and
I'll take a look. I'll definitely take a look.
blow the dust off that thing.
Yeah, I'll
Big
get the thing.
experience.
I'll get the thing running.
Yeah, set your room on
All
fire.
right. All right. With that being said, that's it for our gaming news call outs. We had quite a bit today, but I think I did a good job of just keeping it more games oriented. I don't know, but
Pat yourself on the back. Go.
yeah, definitely. Uh, all right, now we're gonna get into our main discussion, which is ads in video games, and I thought this was a very interesting topic since Microsoft announced that they're going to have ads in their video games, even maybe some of their AAA games or the free to play games. And then Sony announces that they're reportedly going to do the same thing, put ads in video games. So I came up with a couple of questions for you guys to really think about. Is this a good thing for consumers, for us, the consumer? And then will they just be in free to play games or AAA titles, indie titles, etc.? And then where have we seen ads in video games before? And even to throw something else at you, how long ago? And I got an interesting one when we get to that one later on. But
It's not
which one of you
Burnout
guys would like
Paradise, is it?
no. But
Oh,
no,
okay.
I got a very interesting one. But let's get into this. Matt, what do you think of all this ads and video games? Is this the future? Is this what we're coming to?
I think a lot of big companies are starting to panic about dropped revenue, and there's only so long they can blame the pandemic for it. The big
Ooh,
thing
boy.
to correlate this to is Netflix at the moment. They are in a lot of hot water. I'm not sure if it was based on the announcement or what precipitated it, but they had a $50 billion reduction in their stock price, in their valuation. And they've also announced that there will be the potential for ads on their platform, as well as the whole thing with them trying to stop people sharing passwords across multiple accounts by charging account fees for having those sub accounts on different platforms. Now, not different platforms, in different locations. Now, obviously, for years we've been able to buy a family account, 4 screens, 4K, or whatever you have access to, share it with your mates, split the cost, away you go. So Netflix obviously driving for a bit more revenue there, even though they probably will lose viewers, and there's going to be a reduction in capital there anyway as they start to normalize this a little bit. And that's meant to turn around in about a year. Now think about that, and then think about the same announcement from 2 of the biggest game console manufacturers in the world, saying that they're looking to help developers get advertisements into their video games too. Obviously, it's a cash grab. They're looking to get some money.
Yeah.
They're trying to set the consumer's mind at ease by saying, hey, we're not hiring out to some ad firm that caters to mobile and then all of a sudden having unskippable ads about some weird housescapes maniac mansion kind of thing on the platform. We're going to make ads that cater to you. We're going to skip the middleman. We're going to make sure that they insert well. Xbox has been a little bit less explicit, I think, with how that's actually going to take place. And Sony has pretty much said it's going to be billboards, like sports stadiums filled to the brim with advertisements for your cryptocurrency and NFTs, most likely, because that's where all the money is coming from for games at the moment. If you go to a conference or something and there's booths there, there's going to be NFTs and crypto there. But yeah, integrating it in-game for consumers. That's going to be the big thing and how they generate a bit more revenue. Now, the big question that needs to be answered with this is if, they'll pretend they're doing it for the consumer, but are they actually doing it? What is the benefit for the consumer going to be? Is it going to be opt into personalized ads for you and we'll knock $10 off your live subscription for the year or something like that? Is there going to be monetary reward for them? Is the sharing of data, ad data with these companies, going to benefit you in some way by getting you deals across the internet and other places? What's the value for us? That's the big question. And to be honest, it's hard to look past, I'm going to get ads in my games. That's going to interrupt my load screen where I see tooltips and cool art. What do you guys think? What's your split second response to this?
You can go ahead, Max.
Sure. Honestly, I was thinking to myself, just what Tutal said. When was, I guess, the last time you saw ads in video games? When I was reading through this, and I remember there's definitely racing games, there's sports games, along like if you're playing a hockey game, there's along the boards or in the stands, and that's, in my opinion, I think that's an appropriate place to put them, because that is where you would see them, have you been there in person. Now, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. But if I'm playing a fantasy game, if I'm playing I don't know, Elder Scrolls or something like that, and I walk to the next town and I hit an ad and it's or something like that on the loading screen, it's to skip to get 500 more pieces of gold or something like that. Watch this ad. As long as it doesn't take me out of it, I think I'm fine. But the question that you raised was, what do we get out of it by having this in? What's our incentive? What do we get for sitting through this stuff? And that's a question I didn't ask myself.
But you literally said it just then. You walk onto Whiterun, you've got your dagger and your wooden shield in hand. You look at the community notice board, and there's a little icon there that says, "Hey, we'll give you 500 gold if you watch an ad." That's the incentive. But I think you hit a really good point there about it taking you out of the game, because you don't want to do some leather working over there and approach a magician for some alchemy lessons and then watch an ad for KFC. Like, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, like you see this in like iPhone games and like puzzle games
Like,
and
yeah, I
stuff like
see it.
this.
Yeah, there's a game I play on my phone, Monopoly Solitaire, and there's like ads all over the place in that. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think there's a time and a place for ads. I think it's gonna be hard for gamers to see it transform from mobile to console, PC, wherever they're gonna put the ads at. But at the same time, it has been going on a while,
Mhm.
and I could even think back to the NES. Believe it or not, there are ads in those games. Now, maybe not ads like that you can watch, but I'll just use a game as an example. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game for the NES. There are advertisements for Pizza Hut as you go through some of the levels of that game. I don't know if you remember or not, but I guess the game came with a coupon to Pizza Hut actually too. If you bought it sealed, I'm not sure if it's still if anyone has a sealed copy. I'm not sure if the coupon would work today, but but the fact
I would.
that yeah, I wouldn't think so. But the fact that a famous pizza chain is in an NES game and the logo, I mean that's just ads have been around in video games for a very long time. Especially for that game since it came out in 1990. Now for the Cowabunga collection, I believe that is being edited out, so you won't be seeing those original Pizza Hut logos. But I mean, they've been around a long time now. Like a sports game or whatever, you see some billboards, you see like some advertisement or something, like in the arena. Like if you're playing WWE, you see an advertisement for say like KFC or something like that. I mean that's one thing, but do I want to watch an ad before like I wrestle a match? Not necessarily. And then like a game that you said, Max, like Elder Scrolls, like I don't want to watch an ad before like it would just take you out of the game in a game like that, or even like Elden Ring. Like, do you want to watch an ad while you're playing Elden Ring? I
I
mean, if
actually
they're,
find that hilarious. I really do.
I
The
mean, I'm
idea
just
of
saying.
watching this ad,
Yeah,
you get like this secret drumstick club, KFC. You just hold it on your back. It's just like this big chicken leg.
that'd be awesome. But I think what you try, it really would. I mean, there are more ridiculous weapons than that, and we know from a
Yeah.
story this week, um, someone in Elden Ring unearthed and data mined a pair of underpants that they've been
Everything
illegally
can get
dropping in
banned for
people's
it.
games, and people
Yeah.
have been shadow banned for wearing them. Very
Yeah,
unfortunate being sent to horny
Mhm.
jail for that reason.
yeah.
But the question that you're landing on is the nature of the ads and how well they fit in. And funnily enough, Tutol, you mentioned a comparison that was perfect there, where in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you would not balk at there being a pizza integration in there because what do they eat?
Pizza.
Pizza all the
Mhm.
time. And they don't even have to change what they're eating for the cover art. There's going to be a big old pizza slice in their hand. They just slap a Pizza Hut there. Perfect. Integration, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But you're also thinking of the mobile ad type thing, where, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, the loading screen thing. You want to get into Whiterun in Skyrim, but before you actually get in there, you've opened the door, you've gone to black screen. All of a sudden, there's a pop up with a 30-second countdown timer to the new Monopoly Solitaire or whatever kind of exploitative named and functional game they're trying to entice people with. I think that's part of the reason that they're doing this, that ads will make it into games eventually. They want to make sure it fits in with the game itself and that it
Mhm.
blends in the environment quite well.
It's
Sports is an easy layup, but if you posed Skyrim to them now and said, well, how do you expect it to work with this? Especially with Bethesda being a Microsoft partner now. They well, not partner, but studio. That may well be the case when they sell Skyrim for the 60th time on whatever console comes up.
Funny enough, one of the best, I think, examples of having ads in a game is Cyberpunk.
Okay.
They're not exactly, real.
Safe
They're
for
not real
work.
ads. They're not safe for work. But in a setting like that, where it's, the dark future, you're bombarded with information of all kinds. If there was something like that, and it added to the experience in some way, like, fine, go for it. Like, kill my brain with like Pepsi and KFC and McDonald's ads and stuff like that if I'm playing, as long as it's part of the aesthetic. I'm gonna hate it. But I'm supposed to, right?
And you're right. It would
Yeah.
make sense in that world where it's not physical billboards. It's people with digital brains hooking into this network and being bombarded with stuff. That's probably where it would make the most sense
Mhm.
to have it just slip in there. But they can't just do it in one game.
No.
They're going to have to make agreements, and
Yeah,
not everything
it's-
can be a dystopian future.
I think it's gonna
No.
be it's gonna come down to a studio thing between them and the consoles, whatever platform is coming forward. I wouldn't even be surprised if we see Nintendo try to get a piece of the pie later on.
Well, look,
But
let's talk about the Super Game Initiative. If they
yeah,
can't get NFTs in there as a way to gather revenue from their players, what's the next thing they're going to look at? It's
ad
going to be
revenue.
ads. Yeah.
That's right.
And they're going to have AAA titles that have bought into this platform already and developed for it. And they're going to have ads shoved down their throat just because it's the thing that the industry has proved has worked, because Sony and Microsoft have done it. It could be starting a slippery slope. Could be
Well,
very weird.
just imagine, you're going to the store, you pick up Elden Ring. Elden Ring, sponsored by KFC.
But see, it's the dynamic ad insertion that's the problem, right? Because they want the ads to be relevant all the time. If
Yeah.
KFC takes a dive in 2 years, Elden Ring, that advertisement on Elden Ring is going to be something people laugh at and then play the rest of the game. What they want to be able to do is say, Elden Ring brought to you by, look at your profile, see what age group you're in, what you've purchased, what your internet browsing history is like,
Yeah.
any previous interactions you've had online, social engagements with previous platforms that sell products. And then they arrive at whatever unfortunate product you stumbled on in your viewings of the internet in the very tight corners that you probably shouldn't be directed to, like I am for some reason. The only ads I see are for computer parts and weird naked ladies in anime mobile games somewhere. Like, that would be really unfortunate. But anyway, they want the dynamic aspect to be part of this so that they can keep swapping out those ads and keep them relevant.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, they're
that's
gonna have to
what I
keep them
think the
relevant
money's
if
going
if it is
Mhm.
gonna work.
to be.
But I mean, overall, it could be a good thing for consumers if they're being introduced to something that they might like on based on the game that they're playing. Um, do I see?
Free
I could.
2-week trial for Paramount
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah.
now visible in a Halo near you.
Yeah, but do I think? I mean, obviously, I believe they will. Well, they already are in free to play games, AAA titles. I mean, I could see them going into AAA titles. Indie titles, maybe. I'd have to. It depends on the studio, I guess.
So
Yeah.
this is the most interesting thing, right?
Hmm.
I'm going big brain on this when I probably shouldn't, but anyway, we're going there.
I knew it
Do
was
it.
a topic you were gonna like. So,
Game Pass.
Game Pass.
Indies love Game Pass. Probably, well, look, I'll say they love it. It's an easy way for them to capture an audience to get exposed to their game, right? Microsoft owns Game Pass. Game Pass all of a sudden has a need for ad revenue through their platform. Suddenly, developers are given an incentive, a reduced take from Microsoft to get their game on the platform. They gain more revenue whenever players engage with the game, but in exchange for that, you have ads in it. All of a sudden, you're playing Unpacking. You've dropped the teddy bear on the bed, and then there's a flash of a moving company that tells you, the best deal that you can get in your area. I can see that being a thing that they offer.
Mm.
Doesn't necessarily mean that all indie game studios are going to take it, but it could be a thing. And money's a problem a lot of the time.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm just popping bubbles everywhere, like balloons. Sorry, I'm not the guy to go for party town with it when it comes to corporate initiatives and making people feel good about stuff like this. But we need to be across it as consumers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to
I
scrutinize,
totally get it.
justify that stuff. We need to get the full picture, make sure that we understand everything that we can before we engage with this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Thoughts
all I've got to say.
on any final thoughts on ads and video games before we do the release rundown?
Maybe we should just each say, would we buy a game off the shelf, regular retail price, that we knew was going to have ads in it? Would you?
Oh boy. Right now, no. Unfortunately.
Definitely not at the moment. I don't think so.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah.
I probably would. It
You
would
would?
depend on the game. But I'm
Depends on the game,
someone,
okay.
I don't have any, like I do my research before I buy a game. So, if I,
Right.
that's the kind of research you can do. And that's what's going to be included in game reviews and stuff now, right? There's going to be
Yeah.
graphic fidelity, gameplay, characterization, environment. Do we recommend this for you? Does it have ads? Guaranteed. That's going to be part of reviews in future as well.
Yeah.
So I'd do the
Yeah, that's
research.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
do the research on the game. But
That's a
right
good point,
now, I might change my mind later. But right now, I had to go no. All right, so we're now coming to that part of the show where we are going to do the release rundown. It's been several weeks. I mean, not several weeks. It's been like 2 weeks since we had our last show. So this is going to be a couple weeks worth of games. Some of these games are already out, so I'm just going to fly through those, and then the ones that are coming out next week. eFootball 2022. It's a soccer game. It's coming to the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Lego Builder's Journey coming to the PS5 and PS4, which is available now. Shouldn't say the date, but yeah, it's available now. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, which is already on the Switch. It's available to play now. Chernobylite, it's on the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, available to play now. Rogue Switch, it came out April 21st. It's available to play now. Teardown for the PC, also available to play now. So those are the games that came out through Easter that are available to play as of right now. So the games coming out next week are Zombie Army 4 Dead War for the Switch, coming out April 26th. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe for the PS5, Xbox Series X and X, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, coming to 27th. Also coming to 27th, Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, coming to 27th. Bug Snacks coming to Xbox Series X and X, Xbox One, and the Switch, April 28th. It's actually going to be on day one on Games Pass for Xbox, so be on the lookout for that. Door from Mantic, coming to PC April 28th. Also the 28th, you got Rogue Legacy 2 for the Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. Rogue Lords coming to the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, also on the 28th. Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 to the PS4, April 28th. Unsold, I've heard nothing but good things about that one. Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Also April 28th. A lot of these games are coming out on the 28th. But April 29th, we do have one game, Nintendo Switch Sports. And it's obviously coming to the Switch, April 29th. All right, that
I
was a
thought it
long
was
list.
on the Wii U. Terrible joke. I know.
And I know you're joking. Any of these games y'all looking forward to, or that one should play for the games that are already out and the ones that are coming out?
Stanley Parable Ultra
Stanley
Deluxe.
Parable.
That's
All right.
going to be excellent. I can't wait. It's coming out on the 27th of April, which tickled me realizing that Stanley's office door is door 427. which is
Ooh.
I'm tickled by that game. I'm going to get that and dive in again for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Let me know how it is because I definitely think that'd be something I could probably get into real easily. Also,
I can tell you now, get it,
Huh?
get it,
Okay.
because we got the old version out there. If you can get that for cheap,
Mhm.
give that a go. There's going to be some bonus content in this one upcoming, but
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
you can
Okay. I'll
try it right now
definitely.
if you want.
All right. I'll definitely look more into it. Any other games, Matt? You
Rogue
don't think?
Legacy 2, I've been eyeing off Rogue Legacy for a little while. And luckily for me, it was free on the Epic Store, I think last week or the week before, the first game.
The first one. Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the games that has kind of coined the roguelike kind of format for a lot of games. And it would be good to go to the Origins. So I might have a look at that if I tackle the first one and see how it goes.
Okay, for sure. Uh,
Max, what are
Max.
you about?
Yeah. What are you about, Max?
I'm all about. Someone is drag racing right now. Sorry. I am all about Vampire the Masquerade. I don't know if any of you guys have played any of the Masquerade. I think it was Blood. It's not Bloodlines, is it? This is Blood
That
Hunt.
sounds
Yes,
right.
Bloodlines.
Yeah, Bloodlines.
I've seen a little
Yeah,
bit of it. It's very,
it's
pretend to be a vampire kind of thing, right?
yeah. You pretend you never have fun at all, and you just run around.
Hey, pretend is fun.
Pretend.
I
Yeah.
never said not
Pretend.
fun.
No,
I'm not
that's
really
it.
having fun. I'm just pretending.
Yep. No, it's pretty cool, and I think if you're a fan of Cyberpunk, you might be a fan of this as well. This is another adaptation of a tabletop kind of D&D style game, where there's different types of vampires. There's like each of them have different types of powers and things like that. And I think this is like a battle royale, third person battle royale, which in that universe is like really really cool. Um, but yeah, if you can find on Steam, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, and you will have a great time for sure.
Solid.
Yeah.
Give
All
it a
right.
look.
All right. For me, definitely give Bugsnax a try, especially if you have Games Pass, since it will be there day one. So it's pretty interesting for the most part. I mean, I'm through some of the game right now. It seems pretty easy to play. From what you guys were saying earlier, it ends very weirdly. So I'll definitely give that a go. And
It
then,
doesn't. It's not. I said weird, but I meant like it ramps up the adultness of
uh,
the game to like it goes. It accelerates very quickly. It's apparently a very like impactful end to the game, and you realize what the island actually is. Apparently, it's very confronting. That's all I meant. So
okay, well, it
yeah,
seems very interesting. If I do play more, or when I do play more of it, I definitely am looking forward to how the game ends. Definitely. And then I guess another game. I probably won't get this myself, but I know there were a lot of Wii Wii fans out there that loved Wii Sports. So definitely, Nintendo Switch Sports is going to be on a lot of people's radar coming to April 29th if they have the Switch now. So it probably won't do big numbers like Wii Sports, but hey, I mean, you can do bowling, you can do all sorts of things, volleyball.
you can
Just
gladiatorially beat each other with foam sticks until you fall in the water.
oh yes, that's also fun.
Looking good.
Love that one.
Well, a great selection for whatever kind of gamer you might be, casual one, hardcore one. But what I say, a gamer is a gamer, regardless of how little you play or how much you play. So great selection of games coming out through the rest of April, and then we focus on May, which is looking like a very not so full month right now. But hey, it might be full by the time this next episode comes out.
There are plenty of games to play. If anyone is disappointed with not having
Yeah.
announcements saying, I've got nothing to play, you probably got an old console. Have a look around. Get
Yeah,
Game Pass
yeah,
for a month. Just hang out in there. There's enough there.
yeah. There's a game out there to play for everybody. I feel too. All right. So with that being said, we're about an hour 45 in. That is gonna do it for the Game and Watch podcast.
I would very much like to point out the fact that you've mentioned the timestamp there. It is definitely going to be different on the audio. So have a look at your podcast player and go, but wait, this is 1 minute 50. Sorry. That's a little producer joke. Keep going.
Yes. For for our producer, Mr. Matthew Bliss, and for Max, this is Justin saying so long, and thank you for watching or listening to the Game and Watch podcast. Be sure to follow us on all our media platforms, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you.